Snyder had a plan. And come on, seeing this 4 hour, that there is so much story that he had told here, and there's so much story left to tell.
Welcome everybody to another episode of A-Listers. My guest today is a YouTube reactor with an ever-growing fan base, an actor, producer, writer, and a fan of nearly everything comic book. Welcome to the show, Chainsaw Reacts.
That's me. Wow. Okay. A lot of credits there. Okay.
What made you decide to start YouTube?
Well, it was back in 2009 on my old YouTube channel. I came up with this idea. I'm like, I want to review music. So I reviewed music for a couple of years and I got kind of bored of it. And then I created Chainsaw Reacts as kind of like a hobby thing. And it turned into this. Like, I did not expect all of this. I mean, I was like, I'll do it from time to time, but it's like I'm uploading every day, basically. I have a lot of variety of stuff I can do on here versus when I reviewed music on my old channel where it was literally metal albums reviewing. That's all I did. So I'm like, this is getting kind of stale. Like at a certain point, I've said everything I can say about how good an album is or how bad something is or how mediocre something is. But with this, I can talk comics, music, movies, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. I can cover the whole entire thing of my interest, and it doesn't really get boring because there's always something new. Yeah.
What made you decide specifically to do reaction videos to things?
It was summer of 2014, and that was the year that I actually quit my album reviewing channel. It's still up. If you find it, you can still see those old cringy videos. But in the summer of 2014, I discovered a few different reactors, and one of them was Akasan. And I was watching his channel and a couple others. And back then it wasn't like it is now. The reaction channels were not a thing, really. There was only a couple people really doing it consistently. So on October 22nd of 2014, my birthday, the first teaser for Age of Ultron Avengers leaked. And then they officially released it. So on my old channel, I uploaded my reaction. I didn't have picture-in-picture, so it's just me watching it with no, picture-in-picture to kind of see what I'm seeing exactly at that time. But I really enjoyed it.
I mean, you really are one of my favorite reactors, and that isn't just because you've reacted to my stuff. But like you do a variety of reaction videos to all sorts of things. And I see a lot of people who dive into that reaction world, and sometimes you'll watch them and you can either tell, one, they already watched this before they're watching it on the screen, or two, their reactions are so like not worth it. They'll just be like, oh, that was cool. And it's like, what do you mean that was cool? They just revealed like someone came back to life or something crazy,
Spider-Man in Civil War, the first look. And
and they're just like, nice, cool.
Yeah, I've always found that when people, like, you can just tell they've already seen it or they know when to respond at the right time. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You got to experience something for the first time. And I know there's people who don't like reaction channels, and that's fine. But like you said, there's people that are planning it out before they film it, or they don't respond. And people say, well, that's how people have different responses to everything. And that's fine. But it's like, we all have different ways we respond to stuff. But yeah, especially the people that just, you can kind of tell, they faked it. Yeah, it's not real. They saw, because they knew when to start getting hyped up because something big's coming, or they stop talking right as something's about to happen because they don't want to talk over it to get that perfect reaction.
So speaking of reacting, let's talk a little about Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I remember when I was watching it the first time, I just kept going, why would they cut that?
Exactly.
What? And then I kept getting chills and teary-eyed. What was your thoughts watching that?
I couldn't believe that it actually exists at first. And as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, how did they cut this? And then it actually was revealed by Zack Snyder himself. He admitted in an interview recently that Warner Brothers they didn't even see what he had shot before they just decided to reshoot. So that answers a lot of those questions about why did they cut this? Because they only took bits and pieces that they had seen probably dailies of and just said, we'll use this. Maybe Joss sat down and watched all of it that Zack had shot at the time and then decided what to use and what not to use. I was blown away by how good it was. And I knew it was going to be good, but I just didn't realize that a 4-hour film could be as good as it is, because at a certain point, when it's that long, it can get tiring, but I just couldn't believe that it just kept building and building, and there was story, and all these character moments that we saw in the Justice League was just bad. And then seeing all of these moments actually make sense and it works, and all the differences.
I think it's safe to assume that you're on the you would like to see this finished, restore the Snyderverse, or
yes, I made a video when that hit piece, as they call it, came out from Ann Sarnoff over at Warner Brothers after the Snyder Cut, saying there's no continuation. He's done his trilogy. Made a video on that. I've repeatedly said, yes, we need to continue. Not because I'm like saying everybody else in the Warner Brothers DC stuff doesn't need to happen. Let all of it happen. I'm just saying Snyder had a plan. And come on, seeing this 4 hour, that there is so much story that he had told here, and there's so much story left to tell that we need to see it.
Let's talk about Invincible. What was your thoughts? I mean, I saw your reaction, but seeing that pilot all the way to the ending, because I mean,
I openly admitted I was not aware at all of this before the show. I didn't even see a trailer for it. So I heard after the first 3 episodes dropped that it was really good. People were like hyping it up. So I decided, okay, I'll check out the first episode. I'm glad I did, because my God, what an episode. I like how it opened, and it was another superhero type show. Okay, well, we'll see. I can see some similarities here to other stuff I've already seen, but then that ending, it was a great journey. 8 episodes. I wish it was longer, but I get it. But they barely touched the surface of the story, because like someone had the all 3 of the big books of everything combined into Invincible, and they opened to the first book, like where it stops in terms of the story at the very end. When he's it's a little bit compared to this massive. I'm like, okay. I'm excited for season 2 and 3 now, because there's so much more story.
I wasn't familiar with the character either. I saw Chris Killian from Comic Book say it was awesome. Then I saw Ultra Sergeant say it's awesome. Then I saw another person say it's awesome. I was like, okay, I gotta sit down and watch it now. You know, I got 3 people telling me this thing's amazing. And I remember, like I said, I'm like, oh, that's their Batman, obviously. Oh, okay, that's kind of like their Aquaman character. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, where's this going now? And I had a kind of a small feeling. I was like, is Omni-Man gonna like be a bad guy? But I did not anticipate, is Omni-Man gonna murk their entire Justice League pretty much in their ending scene.
The Guardians of the Globe did one thing, and the next thing they do is die. Oh my gosh. And I'm guessing it's in the comics. I don't know, because I haven't read them. But the fact is that they brought him back just to make sure that Mark sees his father kill him.
Yeah.
To make sure, like, okay, there's been some suspicions, and we don't know what happened to the Guardians of the Globe. We know, but they don't know. And then we see he kills him again.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so there you go. Now you know what your dad truly is.
So going back to some of the reaction stuff, what is some of your favorite fan-made videos you've reacted to?
Of course, I've loved what you've done. Ultra Sergeant. I think Ultra Sergeant was either the first or one of the first people that I really interacted with early on, and discovering his videos. Dr. Flashpoint, love his stuff. I love Dr. Flashpoint. I think his name's L Edits, I think, was another one that I've seen.
Yep.
There's just been a number of people that I've really appreciated in what they've done, because literally they're giving us stuff that we will probably never see. So
let's talk a little bit about some Star Wars fan films that you've been involved in yourself.
It's been fun. Well, I remember watching Fandom Reactions, another reaction channel. They created their own sort of films they were making, and they were creating these original things. They created Crisis on FR Earths 2, and I reacted to it, and it was the sequel. And at the end of it, I'm like, I want to make a movie. So I'm like, they inspired me. Like, I want to do something. Well, I said, let's do Star Wars. So I reached out to my best friend, Carson, who's my director for all these movies we've done. And I told him I had an idea. So we sat down at dinner, and he wasn't going to direct it. He's like, I'm just going to hear you out and see, hear your idea. So I pitched him the idea, which is basically the first film, Darth Zahn, and it turned into all of this. And then it's expanded into so much more than what we thought, because we did Darth Zahn. We're like, this is a lot. It took a whole summer to shoot it.
Right.
And then I'm like, I want to write the sequel. I wrote double the movie, double the length. Added too much. It was too much. So we had to split it in post. So instead of being Master Kythe, then it's Master Kythe, The Dark Path, and then Master Kythe Revelations. And now we have General Cilia, the final one, and it's a monster. It's the biggest thing we've ever done. And we've course, we done Gordon, a short film, and we did our first original short, To the Edge. I wrote. I was really happy with that. But with the Star Wars stuff specifically, it's been really fun. It's been difficult because we have to figure out costuming and location, which is difficult, and trying to manage all these characters. Because like at first I'm thinking, okay, I got a couple of these character names and stuff, but then we're like, okay, well, let's go bigger in the second one. Okay, let's go bigger in the last one. It's like, I think we have 30 to 40, maybe more people in this last movie. Some of them are not named, but right. a lot of these people are showing up. Some new people. It's crazy how much story we built in, and it all started with this one little idea of a master and a Padawan. And
you just got married. Let's just talk about how was the wedding.
It was definitely interesting. We've been planning it for a while. We had to move it due to the pandemic and everything. But we had a good time. You know, we had we had some close people there, family and all that kind of stuff. And we were exhausted by the end of it, because she had gotten there at like 10:30 in the morning, all that kind of stuff. And we didn't leave till about 11 that night. But it was really fun. Brittany from Brit Smash, a reactor, was there all the way from California, flew all the way over. Alex, who was Electric Alex, who used to be on her channel, also flew from California. He was one of my groomsmen, and it was awesome. You know, we got some great pictures. We got some pictures actually in last night from the photographer, so that was really cool. Some Star Wars ones.
I saw that.
Yeah, we did some Star Wars ones. But it was really good. The fact that we finally did it, it doesn't feel like anything has changed except the fact that I'm wearing this now, and I'm kind of getting used to it, even though I don't wear rings. But
before you know it, it's gonna feel weird when you don't have it on. Trust me, you're gonna be like,
I felt it earlier because I filmed a video for the Jordan Fisher Impulse official look, even though it's been out forever. We already know what it looks like. But I was like, I started filming. I'm like, oh, rings off, because I took it off earlier, so I had to go find it. But nothing's really changed. I mean, we're pretty much the same, and yeah, I mean, it was really fun. We had tacos. It was really good.
Can't go wrong with tacos.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong with tacos. And I actually had Metallica's "For Whom the Bell Tolls" playing when I did the garter toss. I was like, because he can't. The guy's game is like, okay, garter toss. So what song you got? Because we didn't pick a song. I'm like, okay, we got to find a mid-tempo Metallica song. I had to get Metallica somehow in this wedding, and so we made it work.
I love it. So what do you think your favorite fan film you've watched would be, or one of your favorites, if you can't pinpoint?
Well, I'll say this. One that sticks out to me the most, and I just saw it recently, is Batman Dying Is Easy from Bat in the Sun. I love it. And I like that it has some action, but I like the fact that it is really story. And I think that's really, really cool. I think Kevin Porter, like just what he's done for the Batman character, it's so good. I really wish they would have
cast him in that.
Do something, you know, with him official. But, you know.
So what's your ultimate goals with YouTube?
Well, I would say my ultimate goal is to try to get this to be a part-time thing. I don't know if it would be a full-time job, and I get that because it is finicky. You don't know with YouTube, but that's kind of because I've spent so much time on this channel that I would hope that I could, but I don't know. It all just depends. But I would like to do it because I feel like at a time that, you know, I've spent so much time doing this, and there's a lot of content I could be doing, but I just don't have the time to.
So this last little bit I have for you are going to be my rapid fire questions. Best Marvel movie?
The Avengers.
First one?
Yeah, I would also say X-Men 2. Can't forget Days of Future Past, Spider-Man 2. I mean, there's it's a lot of cool.
Best DC movie?
Pre-DCEU, probably The Dark Knight. Can't go wrong with The Dark Knight. DCEU, Snyder Cut.
What's your favorite video game?
Pokemon. Yeah, I grew up on that stuff. Couldn't get
enough. About like Red and Blue, or
yes, Red and Blue, Special Edition Yellow. Had 2 versions of that.
Those games are some of the top tier video games ever made. What's one of your favorite movies?
My favorite movie of all time is Tombstone.
Favorite superhero?
Batman. No question.
If you had to pick one superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility, or super speed, like the Flash.
Biggest pet peeve?
Oh my gosh. Not enough time in the day. I guess. I don't know. I'd have to get annoyed at something to really notice a pet peeve. Oh, Well, love of my life, besides my wife, kidding, the dog Lucy over here squeaking her toy nonstop trying to watch a show.
What would you do on Mars for fun?
Oh, I have no idea. What would I do on Mars? I don't know. Try to discover life.
Thor versus Green Lantern. Who wins?
Thor. Sorry, Thor wins. He's a god.
How many keys do you have on your key ring?
That's a random question. Keys.
Yep. I always throw a couple random ones in there.
It's 6 or 7 or so.
If you won $1 million, what would you buy?
House.
What was your favorite cartoon growing up?
It's a tie between X-Men the animated series, Spider-Man the animated series, and Batman the animated series from the 90s.
I think Spider-Man for me was my that's the one I remember the most from my childhood.
I grew up on Spider-Man, X-Men, and Batman. All
it was like what, Saturday Morning Fox or something is when they used to
but also I had VHS tapes of like specific episodes.
That's me in the Chris Reeve Superman films. That was my find the tape, put the tape in.
With X-Men I remember specifically having the Juggernaut tape, the Juggernaut episode.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Probably medium well. I want a little bit of pink in there, but not like fully cooked or like where it's still mooing.
What is one of your favorite memories?
Probably riding the 4-wheeler with my grandfather.
What is your biggest goal in life?
I'll give you a personal answer.
Okay.
To be a better father than my father.
That is the last question I have for you on the rapid fires.
Okay.
So that will be it. I will have everything linked for you down in the description. But what is next for you, Chainsaw Reacts?
Making more random videos for reaction channels, more videos for different trailers and stuff, reactions, news stuff. And hopefully once generously our final Star Wars fan film is done, we'll figure out the next project, which will be an original film.
Okay.
So, but other than that, yeah, I mean, just hanging out, making videos. Just expect whenever I'll upload something. You'll get something.